Hi guys, Arthur here from Homeowner DIY. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to cut in a clean out for, in this case, this is a bathroom sink. This will also work on a kitchen, which I've already done here, and for a laundry as well. Now, the reason you'd want to cut a clean out in is to make servicing a lot easier. So as you see, we don't have a clean out here. So what I can do, and this is not technically the code, but this is what a service company will do, is they are going to cut in a Y like this on the trap arm. So it'll wind up being like that. Now the benefit of this is it's a lot easier to have your rod, once you take the cap off, to go down the Y instead of trying to go up through here. So if you guys watched my first slow draining sink video, you saw the battle I had to go through the 90. So the idea of this is just to make it quicker and easier to service when the time comes. So what we'll do now is material and tools. Alright guys, this is our material list. So we have 1.25 inch Y. This is a fitting clean out. So you glue the bottom into the hub here. And then we have our ABS glue. Guys, this is all we need to do this job. So what we'll do now is the tools list. Alright guys, this is our tools list. So we have our hacksaw, we have our measuring tape, and then we have water plumb pliers. I don't know if I need the pliers. I just took the sink off recently when I fixed the drain. But sometimes this nut can be tough to get off. Alright guys, first thing we're going to do is we're going to throw our bucket underneath. We need to take the trap off. We'll undo the slip adapter. And then we'll undo the union. We're going to get a little bit of water that comes out of the trap. Alright guys, so the first thing that we need to do is, for our Y, we need to figure out our fitting allowance. So the fitting allowance is how much space we need to get a fitting in. So in the case of our Y, the fitting allowance is 4 inches. So between here and the hub, I need at least 4 inches. Now guys, if you don't have enough space, what you can also do is you can swing your trap out too. So this trap sits in this type of direction, like that. But if you ever need more space, what you can always do is you can cut your trap arm back here and then move your trap out. And that's the one thing when you're piping drains, you have the flexibility to move your trap back and forth, because it's a circle. It's basically a joint that you can use to your advantage. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to glue our clean out into our fitting so it fits in like that. So guys, one thing about these clean outs is you have a rubber ring here. If you tighten this down too much, you'll actually pinch the ring and it'll push out, so you can get a leak like that. So if anything, if you ever tighten this and it's still leaking and you can't get it to stop, you can always put Teflon tape here around the threads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my glue pot. And guys, like I always say, the idea is just to put what you need and make a nice clean joint. We want our work to always look good. Now as a rule of thumb, I always do the fitting first so the glue doesn't drip. Make sure you go all the way around. And then guys, as usual, when we push, we're going to give it a turn. All right, so now our Y is done. What we'll do is we'll put our cap back on. And now we'll go figure out where we want to put our clean out on our trap arm. Now guys, keep one thing in mind. The pipe goes like this, so we want to be, if you were to use this as your center line, we want to be at the top. We don't want to be at the bottom here, because if you ever need to rod this out, all of that water here, whatever, is going to come spilling down. So when you mount it towards the top, it's going to keep everything cleaner and drier. All right, so we're going to grab our hacksaw and we are going to cut the trap arm. It's going to be a little bit tight to do. All right, so guys, always wipe it because I've had leaks through the burrs. All right, so we know that our Y is 4 inches long. So if we cut 4 inches off our trap arm, if we cut 4 inches right there, then we should be able just to throw this back on and not have any problems. Alright, so guys, this is the time when you want to figure out where do you want your clean out to be. Like that seems to be okay. This here, I don't think it's going to be very user friendly, so my plan is to do it like that, and then you can see how it's going to look. And guys, once again, when you're looking at this, look at your center line, make sure you're above, so any water will stay down here, and you're gonna stay nice and clean when you're working on this up here. So what I'll do now is we'll glue it in. So we put our glue in. Give it a turn. That looks okay right there. We'll wipe the bottom. Everything looks good. Now guys, this is a key thing that you need to check first. Dry fit your 90 in and make sure that the drain is going to fit back together. Okay, so that's screwed on. Now the drain is back together, so we know this is going to work. So now we're going to go ahead, take it apart, go ahead and glue it. So once again, we'll wipe the burrs off. Okay, we'll put it on, we'll give it a turn. And now guys, this is when you have to move quickly to get your drain back on. And then we will wipe our joint. We'll put our slip adapter back on. And now what I'll do is I will fill up the sink and then we'll do a test. Again, guys, do a solid test because, again, if you're doing this for somebody else, the last thing you want is a callback. So really the only thing that I'm looking for a leak around is really here. It's all glued together, and ABS is fairly forgiving, so I don't anticipate any problems with that. But what we'll do now is I'll quickly fill up the sink. All right guys, so this is our volume of water for our test. All right, everything went down, guys. Again, always check, feel around. ABS is fairly forgiving, so I mean, really, if you get glue all the way around and give it a turn, you shouldn't have any problems. But everything looks good, so I'll just clean up and finish up. All right, really quickly, what I'll do is I'll demonstrate how the clean out works. So you unscrew the cap, and you can put your rod in through here, and then off you go. This will make your life so much easier doing it this way opposed to going through the trap. Also guys, one thing you need to keep in mind, if you go through here as well, you can damage the lip because this is a compression, so all you have is two surfaces that go together. So if you have a nick or a dent or something like that, you can run into a problem where now you have a leak. So this long term will be better. And again, if you over tighten it, you're going to pinch the gasket and then you're going to have a leak. So if you tighten it and you still can't get it to stop leaking, put some Teflon tape. But other than that, we are all done now. So what we'll do is an overview of time and cost. All right guys, and just like that, we are done. So the time on this job was about an hour. The cost of this job was probably about $12. So that is the Y, the clean out, and the glue. Guys, it's a very simple job. If you don't have a clean out, if your house is older, I highly recommend you do this because this is going to make it easier next time, as well as you're less likely to break something as things get old because it's easier and there's less force you need to do to get your rod down the drain. Guys, simple job. I hope this video has helped you. I hope this video is going to help you become better plumbers when you need to go ahead and do that. Guys, until next time, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next project.